Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Women in Security. I am your host, Madalene Arias, Associate Editor with Canadian Security. Today, we'll be chatting with Anja Milenkovic, a Cybersecurity Associate with PwC. But before we begin, here is a word from our sponsor, Commissionaires.
When we see women that are in positions of leadership, it's proof that it's possible for any other woman as well. And I think it's important for us to recognize that, as women in leadership positions, there are a lot of younger women that are coming up, and that we, not only need to, appreciate the hand that somebody handed us, but you have to turn back and offer that same opportunity to the next younger generation so that they can find their way and be successful as well. I'm Julie Powers, Vice President of Operations for Commissionaires BC Division. For more information about our organization, please visit commissionaires.ca.
What attracted you to cybersecurity?
I really fell in love with how versatile and diverse the industry is. It's a space where I felt I would never get bored, and I'd always have an opportunity for a good challenge in terms of my work. So if you didn't already know, cybersecurity pretty much follows the path of technology itself. As technology evolves, cybersecurity has to pivot with it. And that just means for me, based on what I'm interested in, I will always have some opportunity to develop and grow my skills and try something new, because probably 5 years from now, half the technology that we're familiar with will change drastically. So I'll always have something to play with, something brand new to learn.
What steps did you take to transition into this field?
So I started off actually coming from the HR industry. I was purely non-technical. I didn't know the first thing about the basics of network or coding technology, but I had lost the passion for human resources and wanted more variety in my overall work. So the first step I actually took was studying myself. Who am I? What do I enjoy? What do I not enjoy? Where could I find what would make me happy? And then I spent actually, I guess, the majority of my time just studying different industries, different job opportunities, different requirements per job industry, and narrowed it down to cybersecurity as a field because of the fact that, again, it's something that's constantly evolving, changing, fast-paced, lots of, interesting opportunities for learning and challenging work. So once I narrowed it down to that field, I spent even more time really doing homework and reading a lot. I read up on the different kind of job profiles that exist in cybersecurity, the type of work involved in the different areas of the industry, and identified, what kind of gaps I had in my knowledge and my skill sets that I could then work toward. So I would recommend for anyone else who's thinking of cybersecurity as a field, spend time on the actual homework of figuring out what it is that you enjoy, how that aligns with what's in the space of cybersecurity, and then marking down, depending on where you want to go, what kind of studying you need to do. So that's like the first few steps that I took to initiate my path.
And speaking of homework, what other certifications or education did you require to become a candidate for cybersecurity?
The first few steps I took weren't even really in targeting a certification. I actually took a lot of the free courses that are available online. There might even be some courses available in your current company that you're working for, just to explore cybersecurity as a space. I spent a lot of time on YouTube learning about network security and the different job roles. You can actually see SOC analysts walk you through their day-to-day. You can see network security architects walk you through their day. All these different fields, there's always some person who's actually already an advocate for the space and the job. So I spent a lot of time just researching that. Then I really focused on two areas. One was I started studying for the CISSP, which is the Certified Information Security Professional designation. Huge exam. I wasn't prepared to take the exam, but I wanted to start studying for it because it gave me a broad view on all the different concepts, the pillars of cybersecurity. And in the meantime, I applied and got accepted into the University of Toronto Cybersecurity Bootcamp. So once I started that boot camp and I started getting into the practical field of actually, getting involved in some pen testing exercises, setting up a SOC, reviewing different logs, PCAP files, all that, and it's very exciting for me. I had a blast. I also learned what I didn't enjoy, but I also had a blast with a lot of the different concepts that I was working with, and really realized exactly where my passions lied. So it was about that time when I was accepted into the boot camp that I told my company, at the time it was RBC, that I had taken that first step of actually investing in my own education, and I was taking some practical training for it, that I was able to then pivot into a cybersecurity role at the bank.
What skills did you find were transferable from your previous roles?
I actually found a lot of my skills were immediately transferable. Working in HR for so many years, I already had developed one, generally excellent communication skills, having spoken with so many people, taken down notes on many interviews, and analyzing requirements for different jobs as well as candidate capabilities. I already had expertise analyzing and presenting recommendations to stakeholders of various seniority levels. I come with a level of confidence right away, just having had so many years working in HR, solving different problems, coming up with new innovative ideas to identify candidates and bring talents to different companies. So you'd be surprised taking a time to really take stock of yourself where you are in your current role. There's already a lot of skills that you have that are transferable across a variety of different industries. So when I entered the field of cybersecurity, I was already quite analytical, and I really just needed to bridge the gap on, the vocabulary, the technical terms, the way things fit together, but the actual act of analyzing the information in front of me, finding the information I needed, seeking confirmation, and knowing when to escalate when I had a problem. All of that, I came prepackaged going into cybersecurity. And it really has helped me not only in my investigations for the client environments that I work on, but in actually being able to articulate and identify new ways we can approach cybersecurity, and helping me figure out exactly what I want to do next when I'm faced with a problem.
And what have you learned since moving into cybersecurity?
I have learned how to learn. I think that's the biggest thing I've learned. I thought I already knew how to, self-train. I thought I already knew how to learn a topic, but when I chose something so broad as cybersecurity and a completely different area of of um, of industry than I've ever been in, I was completely non-technical before I started. I had to learn how to seek out different information, identify my gaps honestly in terms of what my experience was and my knowledge, figure out where to, ask for more information, and how to approach different problems, and upskill, how to upskill in techniques and technologies that I've never been exposed to. So I guess, yeah, I would say the biggest thing I had learned moving into cybersecurity is the very act of learning. And it has prepared me quite nicely here working at PwC, where I have such a diverse set of clients with different types of challenges that they're working on and different initiatives that they want to drive. I've really learned how to expand my mindset and get open to different forms of feedback, and engaging across different teams with whole levels of expertise that are beyond even my skill set, so that I can learn from them and they can learn from me while we are working together on solving different problems. So I would yeah, learning is its own skill set, and you think you know until you decide to change everything completely. You need to learn how to learn all over again.
What are your goals for the future?
So the beauty of, for me anyway, the beauty of cybersecurity is that the future is really very unknown. It can change so much based on how technology advances. So do my goals for the future. And working in consulting with PwC, I'm not limited really by one particular problem to solve where I need a specific niche skill set. I can leverage my skills and keep moving across the spectrum. So I have some ideas of what I want to do in the future. I do want to stay in cybersecurity. There's a few different spaces that are really interesting to me, but considering where I am now, with multiple clients, with their unique needs and their challenges, the growth potential is massive. So I just I can't say for sure exactly what my goal is because it can easily change. But I'm excited to, generally speaking, I'm excited to become more of a leader in the space as a whole. I have some curiosity around cloud security and forensics, which are all like two different areas. But like I said, future is constantly changing for cybersecurity, and I'm keeping my doors wide open. Maybe in 10 years, it's something else. It's uh, quantum cryptography security with virtual security. I mean, like those virtual environment securities where you can actually have people in a virtual environment interacting with each other. It's crazy where the future is going to go.
That was our interview with Anja Milenkovic, cybersecurity analyst with PwC Canada. Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes.